It's Tuesday the 23rd of March 2021 and I'm at Hatch End station to do a walk along London Loop. I now need to walk the half a mile or so to join the route of London Loop. Now joining the route of London Loop, I'm at a stile. And that's the way we go. Now heading through this scrubby woodland on London Loop. Further along there's a decent view over to the left. Continuing along this narrow path. London Loop now comes to this stile and you can just make out the path in the grass going towards that pylon. On the other side of the field in the last clip, we take this enclosed path beside the West Coast railway line, the main West Coast railway line. And we're heading towards the main road. Now at the B4542 main road, where we turn right and follow for just over half a mile. That bridge ahead is crossing the West Coast main railway line. We now come to the junction with the A4008, and amazingly we go ahead on a footpath. Now on the footpath on the other side of the main road. We're now entering a golf course. Now these places always have navigational problems. There's a sign saying follow white posts. And of course I can't see one from here. So we'll see. Here's the first white post. I think it was just visible from the stile in the last clip. I noticed it soon after I put the camera down. Views across the golf course to the right. No one seems to be around playing. The walk now follows this track parallel to the golf course. As you can see, we're now in the area of Grim's Dyke. We're going to take a footpath opposite this plinth. Now on the footpath opposite the plinth seen in the last clip. And there's a view over to the right of Grim's Dyke. And there's the continuing path. At this pond, the route goes right over Grim's Dyke. We soon pass another pond over to the left. At this point, London Loop bears right up there. And as you can see, the sun has broken through. It's been mostly cloudy this morning. The woodland's looking pretty nice in the sunshine. I'm glad to see this London Loop waymark, as I was beginning to have doubts I was on the right route. We now have to follow this road for a short distance. And we turn left off the road along this path. We're back on Harrow Weald Common. Some of the walk before the road was on that. The path is really beautiful. We're now at the highest point of the London Loop north of the Thames at 518 feet. We're now following a path along the edge of the woodland. We've joined something called the Bentley Priory Circular Walk. I think London Loop follows this for a couple of miles. At this point we turn right, down there. We now go up those steps to cross the A409 main road and take a footpath opposite. On the other side of the A409 we follow this paved path. We're now in Bentley Priory open space and we're following this paved path. Over to the left now there's a not very good view of Bentley Priory itself. It was the headquarters of the Royal Air Force Fighter Command during World War II, and apparently there's a museum in there. Well, I'm very glad that the path is paved in this area. And here's an information board about the Bentley Priory Circular Walk that we've partly been following. We've now left the Bentley Priory open space and are heading for another main road. Now at the A4140 main road, and we're going to take that road Warren Lane opposite. We're now on this path on Stanmore Common. Views of Stanmore Common. We're back at Warren Lane, but we cross it to take another path. Now on the path after crossing Warren Lane. We now walk between two ponds. Very pleasant path beside water. Now following this fairly well made path beside fences. At this junction we turn right down there. London Loop now comes to this pond on Stanmore Little Common. Some road walking coming up. We're now turning left into our old friend Warren Lane again, down there. We're off the roads and on this enclosed path. We're coming into some pleasant countryside. We're about to turn left. Wow, great view ahead. And head down that track. We're going to turn left down that track that's signposted, and there's some sort of bonfire here. Now heading across this field on a faint path, and the road you can see in the distance is the M1 motorway. Now turning right to go beneath the M1 on this road. There's quite a bit of road walking coming up. After half a mile along a main road, London Loop turns left along this path, and that water you can see there is Aldenham Reservoir. London Loop follows this pleasant path near Aldenham Reservoir. A London Loop now turns right down there. I've just diverted off the route for a few yards to get this view of Aldenham Reservoir. The path we were following, there's a high fence between the path and the reservoir. We come to this road and go through the Kissing Gate opposite. Now heading across this huge field. There was extreme mud in that Kissing Gate that you saw in the last clip. I had to get over some other fence at the side of it. After a Kissing Gate, the path continues in the next field. After a little bit of road walking, London Loop continues across this field. I've now turned left along the edge of a golf course. I really could do without a golf course at the end of the walk. Now join this track across the golf course, and like the other one, it's deserted. Good view though. We now bear left onto this path. We now turn right down this path to go towards Elstree station and the end of the walk. Very pleasant path indeed. Now on the roads to Elstree station. That way. I can get my bus at this bus stop. I don't need to go a couple of 100 yards more to the station. So this is the end of today's walk along London Loop, and I'm in Elstree and Boreham Wood.